Hi everyone, it's Desert Rose. I'm here to introduce Belladonna. Belladonna de Tora is her full name. She's my dog that I just adopted. She's right here. It's late at night, so she's laying around right now. I'm hoping that you might see her pop up a little bit, but I really wanted to do a video of me telling the story about how my husband and I adopted her. So I'm not sure how long this is going to be. This was a bit of a process getting her. So, and in case you haven't been to my YouTube channel, this is my personal YouTube channel. I do have a main one. I am an herbalist by trade, and I'm a tarot reader. Those are my main services that I do, but I also do other things, like create things and then there are other videos that show what I'm interested in. So I just wanted to put that out there because there was a bit of like goddess energy that that's part of the story. So, okay. In the beginning, when John and I first moved in together into our house, we had this idea that we would get a dog. And it was first brought up by him, but I was like, maybe. Because I knew already the dog that I would connect to, and I know that I'll connect to. So I wanted a husky, a Siberian husky specifically at the time. And he was like, oh, that'd be cool. So he was thinking about getting a dog approved from the VA, but we ended up not doing that because he thought that he could get a dog for himself, but we actually adopted her from a shelter. So we went online for to find like huskies in our area, and we weren't able to adopt from these places. Like in my area, there are husky rescues too, but we weren't able to get the approval because we didn't have experiences with huskies. So I was disappointed, and we talked to his grandfather and dad, and they said to look at the local shelter, and John's aunt worked volunteers at that shelter. So I was kind of like thinking, I wasn't really, well, I was kind of nervous, but I was more like, huskies they go quickly, so we have to act quickly in order to adopt one, and they have to get along with us, and it feels right when you find the right one to add to your family. So, and also it's the South, it's not the most common breed, so all those things were in my head. But I knew that I was going to adopt a husky regardless. So one of my goddesses was letting me know, and I usually need to be told to take a chill pill because I'm always in my head. So I think that could be the Libra in me too. Then I kept looking online, specifically at the shelter that they were talking about. And one day, like, this husky randomly popped up on there. First, I didn't see it on the shelter's website. I saw it on Adopt a Pet website. So I was really excited. And it was the only white husky, which is what I'm going to get into with the goddess how I got her. So, I'm sorry. Where do I go with this? It was in the middle of the night because I was searching like day and night, because I really was having this idea and I knew I was gonna get her. So it was like about 3 in the morning, and I woke up my husband and I'm like, John, I found a husky, and he he wanted to get it as local as possible too, because he doesn't really travel that much, especially because our main car is a stick shift car. So neither of us, even if we took turns driving the car, it was still kind of suck to drive it a long distance. So this was the local shelter that I was talking about. And we were, at first, he was like, that's not what you were looking for, because I was looking for like that traditional look of a husky. I knew that I would connect to the husky breed, but I was mesmerized by the way that Siberian Huskies look too. So, but I didn't mind the work that I needed to put in. I'm sorry, because I know people are like, so it's sometimes like with breeds that they love them so much, but they don't realize like how much work that you need to put into uh, taking care of that dog. So he's like, okay, and then we woke up right when the shelter opened. We were gone. We went to the shelter to make sure that we were going to meet her, and they told us when we got there that we had to go through other doors to see like the dogs, and then to make sure that they're there, and like let them know what dog that you want, and like fill out the form. So we didn't see the dog there, and I'm like, oh no, someone already adopted her. So we filled out the form. I got her number online because it said that she was still available for adoption. But this is what usually happens to me, that like divine timing where stuff happens so exact at when it's supposed to. I'm sorry if you can hear the cats in the other room. They play sometimes, so I tried to keep them separate for this video. So we got there and we were talking to the adopting person, and they're like, I'm not sure why they put her saying that she's available for adoption, because she's in heat right now and she can't be in the heat. Well, she's not fixed, so they were, for this shelter you had to for this shelter you had to have the place fixes them for you before they adopt them out. So I'm like, okay. So I was thinking that I feel like we're gonna meet her, and I was asking the cards about it and my goddess just to make sure that this is the one. But I'm not gonna lie, I was looking here and there, because sometimes when that happens, other things pop up, so you don't stop your life just because something else stopped. So it was over a little bit over the week, and we were getting a little like, maybe this one's just gonna slide, maybe they're just not gonna adopt her out for some reason, or they're checking out her behavioral, um, like to see if she would be available for adoption, and then they're thinking that they can't adopt her. But we did get that one faithful call, and we were so lucky because my husband's phone number was entered in the system. It wasn't correct, and they ended up calling me instead, because I kept saying to my husband, you know what, they're going to call me. And they did, and I added their number to my contacts just to make sure that I wouldn't miss their call. So we rushed there and we met her. They called her like an orange wallflower. They have different colors to associate with their personalities. So orange is kind of it is like the in-between between like hyper and like the chiller dogs. So she was like so friendly and accommodating, and she's definitely sweet. But the way that the person that was bringing her out described her as, because we never met her and she thought that we did, she was saying that a list of things that her personality traits, and I was joking. I was like, that sounds like me. Um, so we saw her that day, and we adopted her. We had the food ready. Oh, I forgot. This is a major detail. So we got the food because I wasn't sure if we should have got food just in case, but my husband's like, no, we're getting her, because he just knew, because um he's in tuned also, but it's like, well, I feel like he got the download too, but it's more, I feel like his Aquarius moon shined through. It really does shine through with him. So, or Aquarius moon, or Aquarius rising. I'm sorry, I had to double check with that because I was thinking. So, um, we got them, and then we were looking for a toy, and I'm like, this looks like a very beautiful toy. It was a blue buffalo, and we found a buffalo horn where I put my spell in. So I felt the calling of the white buffalo calf woman, and I felt like this is perfect. So I asked her to help bring my familiar to me, because I knew that this dog was going to be my familiar, and she was the only white dog that we were looking into, or that came up in our searches. Um, so I put the spell in the horn, praying to white buffalo calf woman, and then when we adopted her, uh, she's one of my goddesses that I work with now. So I made an altar for her because she wanted an altar. So she had a very distinctive silhouette. So she had, a lot of times when people see like goddess energy, it's usually like a cloaked figure, or so this one was how it reminded me. It was like a shape of an owl, which is interesting because if anybody has ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, this is going off topic. They have this giant owl in the library, and it was just so like distinctive because you can't not see that, because it's the barn owl. So those barn owls have a very mysterious look to them. So it's like you can't really get that image out of your head. And the owl in the show was like 3, 4 times the size of a human. So it's just towering over you. So it's definitely intimidating. She came out with a black silhouette of an owl type silhouette, which is distinctive because I've never seen that for my goddesses that I work with. And usually when they reveal themselves, I need to work on the altar, or they have a message for me, or in this case, create an altar for her. So I did. So I have a book that came after we got her and we went into the shop, and it was just like, yes, this is how it is. And it is The White Spirit Animals, Prophets of Change. I love this book. I love the stories that it has, and the information and history. And there's pictures. I love pictures. And in one of them, they have a white dog. So she's laying down. She looks like she's ready to sleep. Where else was I going with this? So she is my second familiar. I might do how my first familiar, how I got her and how I worked with her. But as soon as I left my home in New England, my familiar died, and I feel like it was her time to go, and she wasn't meant to go any further. She was of old age too. She was a senior cat, a senior black cat, Kiki, and I felt like it was the right time to switch it, to give reverence to my spirit animal or animal totem, because I used to have, and I still wear on and off, my, there's this like bottle that I would have. It was meant for mainly like aromatherapy or like herbs. I got it out of an herbal shop. So that had Kiki's hair in it. But this one is, I would like to say, a husky head or a wolf head. So, Belladonna, she's starting to wake up. Oh, no, she just wants rubs. So, I might pause it and then get her in the picture for a brief moment, but, where's it going? So, Belladonna is, you know what? Give me 1 second to get her. So, this is Belladonna. She is an Alaskan Husky. Oh, and her name, I'm an herbalist, so I named her after some of my favorite herbs. Specifically, Belladonna being an herb of the goddess of war, and both of those herbs are poisonous plants. And people will be thinking, like, why would you do that? That's a mean thing to do. It reminds me of like survival instincts, like how alkaloids, how you can eat some too, like you drink coffee every day and stuff. It's poisonous, but then there's ones that you can use medically and that you can use to do certain things in your practice. So, being a survival instinct to maybe have thorns or to maybe be bitter, so that animals or other things don't try to eat you or harm you in some way. So that's what it reminded me of, being like an alkaloid. So definitely more of a primal energy. So she's definitely my personality in a dog, always looking for snacks just like her mom. And being that she's an Alaskan Husky, it feels like it fits me a lot too. I'm very proud to have an Alaskan Husky specifically. So for those of you who don't know what Alaskan Huskies are, they're a mixed husky breed, specifically with like pointers or hounds of used for racing. So they bred dogs together in their area to make a fast dog, fast working dog. That's what they're made to do, bred to do. So that connects to me in a way where they weren't bred for looks, they were bred for skill. And that's how I feel. Like, I feel like skill is really important to me, and if you're passionate about something, to continue to work at it. And that's going to show a lot, show your drive, and show how much you've learned, and how much you'll continue to learn and grow from it. So she's my new wolf. And she has beautiful, light, icy eyes. But they're closed right now because she's ready for bed. But I'm so happy that we have her. And I hope that you guys will definitely see her in other videos. So, I'm sorry, my throat is just really dry in this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that wasn't too rambly, and I hope to see you guys in other videos.